Welcome to your Mortgage Insider Update for April the 27th. I'm tired of coming up with a new thing to say about the war in Iran, so I think it's going to be weighing heavily on the markets for a while, it feels like. So continued, up and down, I would say sideways movement in interest rates. We've at least settled down. Oil prices are, of course, higher as we start this week off. And there was some pretty big events over the weekend. One of another assassination attempt against the president. So, everything's just kind of kicking off this week. We'll take a look at the 10-year interest rate charts and see where we lie and what we hope to see from the Federal Reserve in the next few days when they start their final meeting with Fed Chairman Powell. It does look like it's now going to move forward the new Fed chairman for Kevin Warsh after his Senate hearing last week, and the DOJ has dropped their investigation into the Federal Reserve, opening the door for the Senate to move forward with that nomination. So let's take a look and see where we lie today. So we'll focus on the 10-year Treasury as our main barometer as far as the direction of interest rates. Up a little bit today, up over the last week. It was down to about 4.25. Now it's up to 4.33 rounded. And we can see a move higher last week. We've had good days and we've had bad days over the last week as news had come out over the failed peace talks with Iran. But since then have stayed pretty steady right here at this 25-day average. We obviously don't want to see rates move any higher, but it was hopeful that we could have stayed below the 25-day average and started to move down. That, of course, isn't happening quite yet. So until we get some new movement on world events, I think this will be the status quo. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac did come out with their weekly survey last week on interest rates, ticking down ever so slightly. So we'll just hope for the best. We're still hovering just over 6%, about 6.2% on the 30-year fixed mortgage rates. And the Federal Reserve will be resuming their meeting with Fed Chairman Powell this week on Tuesday. There will be an announcement on Wednesday, and it could be an interesting press conference, likely with the news of this last week with the DOJ dropping their investigation. I'm sure Chairman Powell will get questions about his exit at the Federal Reserve Board. Fed Chairman Powell could stay on with his seat at the Federal Reserve for another 18 months, but he's indicated already that he'd likely step down from the Federal Reserve Board altogether once the DOJ was done with their investigation, which is what was announced last week. And now, in the next few weeks, we should get a confirmation vote at the Senate for Fed Chairman Warsh. Make it a great week.